meaning of this song is when will that opportune moment come to us? When there will be shivering of the body as soon as we chant Lord Gauranga's name. While chanting Hare Krishna, when will there be tears in the eyes? When will I obtain the mercy of Lord Nityananda Chandra? When by his mercy will the desire for material enjoyment become very insignificant? When the mind is completely purified, being freed from material anxieties and desires, then I shall be able to understand Vrindavan and the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, and then my spiritual life will be successful. When shall I be very much eager to study the books left by the six Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami? By their instruction, I shall be able to properly understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. My only aspiration is to attain the lotus feet of the six Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Narottam Das constantly prays to attain their lotus feet. Omajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Agrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Nitinamine Pancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyadevacha Patitanam Papadebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. On the topic of art of reading Srila Prabhupada books, or in other words, how to read Srila Prabhupada's books. How many of you want, or how many of you can answer in one word? How to read Srila Prabhupada's books? One word answer. I'll answer. How to read Srila Prabhupada's books? Somehow. One word answer. Somehow read Srila Prabhupada. Whatever it takes, do that. How to read? Somehow means while taking prasadam with right hand, you can hold it in the left hand and you can read in case you are hard pressed for time. High speed on the streets of Pune. Everybody watching, those who wanted to watch, those who are not so passionate to be in their own activities. They must have observed that this young boy, at that time I was a college student. The devotee is driving and I'm sitting behind and reading Prabhupada, reading loudly also for him. Going in the train from Pune to Mumbai, there 4 hours reading. So somehow we have to read, we have to squeeze out time. Radhesham Prabhu says, in between 2 services, immediately start reading Srila Prabhupada. So one word answer, how to read Srila Prabhupada books? Somehow. Now two word answer, two words answer. How to read Srila Prabhupada books? Anybody know? At any cost, three words, two words. How to read Srila Prabhupada books? By opening. If they are closed, now this book is closed. How to read Srila Prabhupada book? Bhagavad Gita as it is His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So, if I want to read this book, open the book by opening, isn't it? Then there are so much things there. So, we need to carry the books always that we want to read. How many of you have the book with you now, which you are reading? Raise your hand. Nobody has. I have my book. Because I'm in travel, I'm having Kindle. So that many books are there, but my book is there. The open, press the button, immediately that book will come. Gita Bhushan, fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now fifth chapter has begun. So your book should be always with you. So you promise that you will always carry your books. Raise your hand. Say that I promise that the book I am reading, I will carry it everywhere. In bracket, except toilet. It's understood. Then that time you have to keep it outside and go to washroom, come out. Again, you should be carrying. Things of Prabhupada book. First is always carrying Prabhupada book wherever you go. Second is remember that you are carrying the book. Otherwise, something else you'll get into. And third is, as soon as you remember, you open it and start reading. And little by little makes into, drop by drop makes into an ocean. So, half minute is there, 1 minute there, 2 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Overall, it will be quite some amount of reading of Prabhupada. So, you have to make sure you do that. Always carry the book that you want to read. Just like for book distribution, the formula is always carry the books that you want to distribute. Like I'm having so many books. There are 5. What is that? Krishna, the Reservoir Pleasure in Kannada. And then like that, there are many more books. 20, 30 books are there, small books. So we have to carry the books that you want to distribute. Anybody wants the book? At the end of the session, you can take the book and give me some donation from your heart, whatever you feel like. So like we carry the books which you want to distribute. Similarly, the book you want to read, you have to carry it everywhere. And remember that I have the book. As soon as you get time, immediately open it, start reading. So these are simple tips for how to reading Srila Prabhupada, how to read Srila Prabhupada books. The art of reading Srila Prabhupada books means first you have to remember that to carry the book and then read it whenever you get. Then there are many details to it. How to read means technique maybe. So the technique is what? First just read the book. That in itself is enough. Here notes can be made. By Lord's grace, we have some memory, retention power. There it will happen. But if not, if you want, you can underline in the book. If it is your own book, you can underline. You can highlight the important statements. You can write by the margin. Margin is there on left side, right side. Better to use right, left side, this side. Left page, use left margin. Right page, use right margin. So that it is not in between stuff like that. So it's better. And also don't write in the margin with pen, ball pen. Because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you will feel that, oh, this note I wrote here is quite basic. So then you can't erase it. If it is with pencil, you can erase it in the future. You might have written, I am not body, I am spirit soul. Which 10 years later becomes kind of, okay, it's very basic, not required. So you can erase it also. So don't write with pen. People put that, what they call stick notes? Stick it, something, stick notes, huh? That, how many of you use them? Few of you use. Okay, but only thing, sometimes too many you use, it becomes bulky book then, because it increases the volume like that. It is not a good practice to fold a page. That is not good. We have that what they call some kind of thread is there, like that, or bookmark can be there, something like that. So that can be used. Short notes can be made in your own notebook. How many of you make short notes? That's a good habit. Then what else can be done? You also suggest. It's interactive session. And I already said, highlighter you can use. There are 12 aims of Shastric study. How many of you have done Bhakti Shastri? Only one, two. So you might have heard 12 aims of Shastric study. That is, one is understanding. What you understood from the text that you read. Knowledge that you gather. Knowledge, then understanding. It can be in our own words also. Knowledge, understanding. Then preaching application. How to use that in preaching. Third, fourth, personal application. There can be many tips. Like the greatness of a person has to be estimated by the ability to tolerate provoking situations. In Bhrigu Maharshi's story, when he went around the universe, testing who is supreme among Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So different things happened, and ultimately to Brahma he did not pay obeisances, mental offense. To Lord Shiva, he verbally said, "You are so unclean, get away from me. Don't come close to me." That was verbal offense. And to Lord Vishnu, he went and kicked Lord Vishnu on his chest only, directly, in front of Lakshmi Devi. But Lord Vishnu was undisturbed. Rather, he took the lotus foot of Bhrigu Maharshi, started massaging. At my heart, my chest is hard like stone, whereas your feet are soft like lotus. You might have got hurt. Let me massage your lotus. So their Prabhupada's famous statement. The greatness of a person has to be estimated by the ability to tolerate provoking situations. So this is personal application. All of us, there are n number of reasons why you could be provoked. Material world is dukhalayam, the place of misery. Padam padam yat vipadam na tesham. At every step there is danger. People will insult you, provoke you. So not to get agitated, disturbed is a big challenge. So that is personal application. Then what else? There are 12 M's. Anyway, so that kind of thing. Theme also, themes you can make, because Prabhupada, like here we can have also. Let's see some small paragraph we can read. Okay, so this is the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, attaining the Supreme, 22nd verse. Purport I am reading directly. Well, you can memorize the verses. Here it is. Purushaha sapara patha bhaktya labhyaspanannaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. So by memorizing verses, the subject matter is better understood. Grasping becomes deeper. So we should memorize. How many of you know at least 50 verses from Bhagavad Gita? Only one. Yes. So we have to know 700 verses are there. At least 50 to 100 you can memorize, which are most important. Somehow I have made one small shloka book called Shloka Ratnavali on Bhagavad Gita, first 100 verses on level 1, that is labeled as level 1. Then next 100 important verses, level 2. The third and fourth, but we have not yet made book. But these are very important verses. First 100 are very important. Then next set of verses are also there. That at least 100 verses can be memorized by all those who are brahmacharis particularly and preachers. And other boys also should learn at least 40, 50 for sure. They are very important. So memorizing the verses, that helps in better understanding. Then word to word meaning also can be. Some words. All words you may not remember, but some important words within that sloka can be memorized. Then while explaining, if you explain that particular word, people will get impressed. Wow! And now we also feel sense of understanding, getting deeper. Then the translation also can be memorized word for word as it is. I have seen Prabhupada disciples, some of them, they can't memorize Sanskrit verses sometimes, but the translation as it is, you know, because they are from foreigners also. They have English there as their first language. So they have memorized as it is. So now I'll read the purport and try to tell the essence of that paragraph in maybe one word or two words, least number of words. Here attentively. It is here clear. Okay, I will read the translation also so that purport is in accordance with the translation. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading, and everything is situated within him. That's translation. Now, purport you have to hear attentively and tell me in least number of words. Purport. It is here clearly stated that the supreme destination from which there is no return is the abode of Krishna, the Supreme Person. The Brahma Samhita describes this supreme abode as Ananda Chinmaya Ras, a place where everything is full of spiritual bliss. All the variegatedness manifest there is of the quality of spiritual bliss. Nothing there is material. That variegatedness his spiritual and material energies is present everywhere, both in the material and in the spiritual universes. Yasyantaha sthani means that everything is sustained within him, within either his spiritual or material energy. The Lord is all pervading by these two energies. So what title you will give? Krishna is complete. Krishna is everywhere. Any other? Devotion leads to Krishna. Reach Krishna. Okay. Krishna and his energy. Spiritual and material energies of Krishna. Like that can also be. Good. So like that, then things are better understood. Then if somebody asks, what did you read today? Okay, I read Krishna's energies, material and spiritual. So how spiritual energy, spiritual world, and the material energy, material world, Krishna is present in the material world also. Something you will be able to elaborate if you have captured the essence of the paragraph in few words like that. And you can just make notes of those words only, those what do you call concepts that you understood like that. Any other? Way of reading Prabhupada. You all are reading, no? Yes, sharing. That certainly should be done. After we read, then we can share with others. Then what happens? How much you have retained will be understood. First time you may not be able to share because things are not remembered only. But next time onwards, the reading will be much deeper, and you can easily share something that is. Any other? Acha. Yeah, preferably we should have, because the books in Sanskrit are called as Grantha. Grantha, na? Bhagavad Gita Grantha. Where does this word come from? Comes from the word Granthi. Granthi means knot. So several pages you put together, put a hole, put a thread in it, and then put a knot. That is Granthi. And like that, made up of knots. So that's why the book is called as Grantha. So best is to read hardbound book. Can we put a hole in our mobile or laptop and put a thread and put a knot and say, now it is Grantha. Can we do that? The machine will be out of order. So books are the best. And touch is there here. You may say that is touch screen there. There is nothing there. For everything it is touch screen only. So best is hardbound book. And you can underline there. Nowadays that technology is so developed, there also you can underline soft copy, PDF, normal document and all that. But no replacement to hand touch directly to the hard book. Any other? Okay. How the paragraphs are connecting to each other to explain the main theme in the translation. Or subsequent purports are also connected to each other. That can also be seen, and then accordingly we can get better grasp of the subject matter. Yes. Any other? Analogies can be separately noted down. Just in short, just like chariot body. Isn't it? What is chariot body analogy? The whole chariot is that is compared to our body. In that the 5 horses are like 5 senses: eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. Then the reins are compared to mind. Then the driver is compared to intelligence, and the passenger is compared to soul, and whole chariot is compared to body, like that. So if you just write chariot body, or in case you are new, first time you are reading or hearing, so you can write some details. Body is equal to chariot, eyes, is 5 senses, 5 horses, like that, like that. Any other? Stories, details can be memorized. You just tell somebody, today I heard Mrugari story. So I'll tell you what it is. And you start telling, then you will see that some details are forgotten. So after that, again go back to the story, read again, and then you capture those points. Explaining is very good because then the subject matter becomes very well understood. Just like we all give exams, then we understand what we have understood of that subject matter. Without exam, nobody will understand how much deeply we have studied that chemistry, physics, mathematics, whatever it is. Through exam, we come to know. And then sometimes we see also, oh, that part I had not studied properly. So I could not do well in exam. In fact, some people who are very poor performers, they fail only in exam. So what is the remedy for them? Again, they have to appear for the paper. Again, they have to study the same subject because they failed fully. Any other way? We can fix something. Quantity matters. You can decide minimum 1 hour I will read. Prabhupada expects from all his followers minimum 1 to 2 hours. We have to read his books. Minimum 1, not less than 1 hour. Make sure you read it 1 hour. So there is one more way of doing reading Prabhupada book. There is an app called as Transcend app. How many of you have heard? You have to give 7,000 rupees to BPT, and in 2 devices they will install it. Let's say your mobile and your laptop, or your mobile and your mother's mobile. It is translated in 13 languages. All the books are Prabhupada, e-books and audio books. So just put it on, and it will keep speaking. Nice studio recording is there in Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, English. So whichever language of your choice, and you keep hearing. So that is as good as reading only. So even while doing some other activities, waste hours can be invested with reading of Prabhupada. You are shaving, you are bathing, you are using washroom, you are taking prasadam, you are walking. Along with that, this can be just going on and on and on. And in a day, you will sometimes read for hours together. Isn't it? Let's say you are climbing this Tirumala hill, going for Balaji Darshan. How many hours it will take? Fastest? 4 hours. So 4 hours you can hear nicely Prabhupada books. Isn't it? That only if you have to read and walk, it will be difficult. We stumble there. Maybe our graveyard will be one step dedicated to such and such ISKCON Prabhu. He left his body. But that can go on and he can run also and hear also. That is one very nice. How many of you are using Transcend app? All are non-earning members. I think. Nobody has. But if you wish, how many of you are earning your job, having job? 4, 5. So you can use at least for yourself. One student you can sponsor also. One, because 7,000 rupees two, no? On your device and one student. Tell him that after you get job, you give me. That time you can sponsor one more then. Yes, any other? We have reading. That we already discussed in a group. Sange Shakti Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, you get strength by association. So it will be, subject matter will be well understood. And discussion, churning happens. Just like ocean of milk was churned and then that brought out Amrit, nectar. Similarly, when devotees do together, it is called manthan, churning. So from that, nice thing come out. Like nectar came out, here also nectarian discussion will come out. Any other? Correct. Yes, they will be on mental platform or physical platform. Nicely eat, drink, be merry. Laksha Prabhupada in the purport only writes, ISKCON is not a free hotel. Brahmacharis particularly will come, nicely eat and take rest. Attend morning programs somewhat here and there. 9 o'clock, take nice prasad, take rest. Get up at 1 o'clock, take some light lunch prasad, take rest. Get up at 4:30, take one full meal, and take rest. It's a complete, full-fledged plan of eating and sleeping. It should not be like that. So there should be, we should read. In Marathi, there is a saying, Vasal or Vasal. Vasal means first, Vasal means reading. If you read, that means you become literate, not don't remain illiterate. If you are literate, Sakshar, what do you call it? Sakshar, you know how to write and all that. Vasal, Sar Vasal, then you will be saved. पढ़ोगे तो बचोगे, टिकोगे. If you are illiterate, you will be cheated. But if you read, you will be protected. Isn't it? If you are literate, you will be able to earn nice money. If you are illiterate, you only have to do jadu puja and you will get very less income. So it's quite important that we read daily. Similarly, our intelligence kind of gets corroded by the influence, attack, power of Maya. So daily reading books is like sharpening or removing that rust. Then intelligence is very sharp. We are able to discriminate. When Maya comes, you will understand this is Maya. Otherwise, if you are not daily reading books, you won't be able to differentiate between Krishna and Maya. You will think Maya to be Krishna. And that's what also happens. If you see a member of the opposite sex, very beautiful girl, you'll think, wow. You will not be able to see that this is fleeting beauty. Here today, gone tomorrow. When you see a young girl, beautiful girl, you should be able to fast forward by 50 to 80 years. So she's 20-year-old. Immediately you should be able to see her as 70-year-old lady, like this cheeks and wrinkles, and eyes have sunken in the sockets, and hair are grey, some hair have fallen down, she's bent like this. Like that you should be able to see. How many of us are able to see? Ya means this, ma means not. This is not beauty. This is temporary fleeting beauty. This we don't get realization because of not reading this. You read daily, you will be able to differentiate. You will be able to discern, discriminate. And Krishna's beauty will be very appealing. It is very beautiful. And that is eternal beauty. Most charming. Everything that you are attracted by, every person you are attracted by, all those persons are attracted by Krishna. Krishna's beauty is the most. And anybody who has any beauty is just having but a spark of Krishna's splendor. Like that. Yes, any other? Your chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra will become very high quality if you are daily reading Prabhupada books. Prabhupada once asked his disciples, why did I write these books? Somebody said for distribution. Somebody said for engaging your disciples in the physical services. Somebody else said for getting profit, money. Prabhupada always said no. So he was only asked, what is the reason you wrote this book? Prabhupada said, to inspire all the people in the world to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So thus, by reading Prabhupada books daily, chanting improves. It's basically part of Shravanam. Reading Prabhupada books means Shravanam. You are hearing from Prabhupada. Prabhupada originally dictated in the dicta form. It was in the sound form. Then devotees heard and typed and edited and printed, etc. So, but it is originally sound only. Books are the recorded sound. So when you do hearing nicely, then kirtanam, chanting becomes very nice. That's why reading is must. Any other? Yeah. That is effect of result of reading. We are asking art of reading Srila Prabhupada. What are the different other ways? There is one technique called as mind mapping. How many of you know mind mapping? Just like birds, every day, morning they fly from their nest to far off places to get grains, etc. And all the tract of land they cover while flying in the sky, everything is mapped inside the brain of the bird. That's why in the evening exactly they come on the return path. They don't have GPS, they don't have mobile, all that. They don't have radar, but mind mapping happens. So likewise, we can have, it's like, in the center there is a theme. Let's say Krishna, doll attractive. Then there are like this, in all directions. And then let's say here, Krishna all attractive. Why? Because of 6 opulences, something like that. So here Aishwarya, here beauty, here knowledge, here fame, here renunciation, here physical strength, and each related pastime, analogies, some drawing. So so that whole thing, is enough for you to speak for next 2 hours. Made it very condensed like that. Another way, just now I said, is sketch. Write any analogy or something, you just draw. How many of you are good in drawing? It's average. When you draw a man, it doesn't look like a frog. That is good enough. Whether it is male or female is not clear, but at least it doesn't look like frog or insect. That means you are good in drawing. So how many of you are okay, average? Good. So you can sketch. If you see my notes, not here, at Pune, you'll find in between there are pictures like that, like Radharani's hair, how they are like cobra. So I have drawn that in the hair of Radharani, like cobra. Mataji's hairs are like that, no? From here, this is like this. And then braiding, like this, intertwining, like cobra. And there are many other analogies. In my notebook, if you come to Pune, I'll show you. That is another way. Any other? Short forms can be used, so that we can Krishna K and circle it, devotee D and circle it. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, SPOG, SPOG. In Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, the disciples knew shorthand typing. Shorthand, very short. So he speaks one statement of 40 seconds. So that can be just in very short written here in 10-15 seconds only. It was a short form. It's a shorthand typing. Short forms are used and all that. Any other? Art of reading Srila Prabhupada. First, we should carry the book. Remember that I am carrying, and then open and start reading. That is basic. But then within that, now how to read? Different techniques of reading. That also we are discussing. Benefits also in between we are discussing. But art of reading Srila Prabhupada. Any other? Prabhupada's pastimes can be you know, well memorized. Lord's pastimes also. This one. Prabhupada's pastime. That's a special feature. What else? Anybody online? We are open to this whole class discussion, interactive session. Okay, setting target. You can just any book you take, first go backside. How many pages are there? Like in this book, Bhagavad Gita. There are 763 pages. So now decide every day how many pages will read. Let's say 7.5 or 8 pages. So in 100 days you can read this book. 3.5 months plus. Like that they have done. His Sri Vaisheshika Prabhu and some of his brilliant students. They have a title called as Page by Page. Be a sage, page by page. So Bhagavatam, how many of you know? If you have to read entire Bhagavatam in English in 1 year, how many pages you should read daily? 41. 41 pages. 41 pages of Bhagavatam you read daily. In 1 year, your entire Bhagavatam will be done. If you do half 20, in 2 years you will be able to read. 10 pages only if you read daily, in 4 years you will be able to read entire Bhagavatam. So you can set minimum this many pages I will read, or these many hours I will read, whatever. Any other? No other? Okay, flow chart. Flow chart will be something like mind mapping also. Okay, flow chart. You are all knowing better language of flow chart. Software like that. His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, he types it in his laptop or whatever. And then he just types, then many notes related, wherever in the notes, it goes exactly there. That is a software application for reading proper notes. Online reading sessions, yes. That is to get inspired to read daily. Pressure comes. Time is fixed every day 3 p.m. 5, 10, 15, 30 people, they are members for that online reading. So they will come, those who come, they will automatically be able to read like that. And the churning will also happen there. Any other ways of reading? Yeah, I have written that, compiled a book. That Unveiling Devotional Encyclopedia. Name is quite big. People will wonder. Vaishnav said, what is this name? Make it different. I said, now already 1,000 books are printed. Next time, Wise Publication Department can only decide what should be the name. But In that Prabhupada's books, when after reading one book, one can appear for exam. Those books which are very big, we have divided into two parts, just like Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Teachings of Lord Kapila. And book like Krishna, where 90 chapters are there, we have made quiz on 10 chapters. So 9 quizzes on Krishna book alone. And for Bhagavad Gita, each chapter one quiz, like that, 18 quizzes on 80 chapters. So then we can solve the paper. Or also we can make a summary of the entire chapter. Like essay is there, no? Like that, summarizing. To see how much is, how well we have understood the entire chapter. Any other? Paragraph wise themes can be made. Intelligence, if very strong, it controls the mind. During chanting, it will be of great help. Even sometimes one sentence from the book you read previously would help you to have better chanting. Books like Japa Reform Notebook have so many catchy words, catchy sentences. Let everything else wait, just here. Don't chant like a parrot. Krishna likes his holy name being chanted by his devotees. 16 rounds on the beats, unlimited rounds off the beats. Like that, there are n number of this thing. Then there can be very high important statements can be memorized. Like Prabhupada said, no, success is guaranteed for a rigid practitioner. Then advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the followers. Then who can hear with rapt attention? One who is pure in his mind. Who is pure in his mind? Who is pure in his action? Who is pure in his action? One who is pure in his eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. So that's one. Then the favor of the spiritual master is obtained through no other organ but the ears. This is one very nice statement. In the physical absence of the spiritual master, his words of instruction are the pride of the disciple. There's 5 very powerful statements from Prabhupada's purpose we discussed. Like that, you can memorize some very powerful statements. Very powerful. Any other? Yes. Titling the paragraphs. In the book, they have already, now Bhagavad Gita, they have, if you see here what they have done, they have given summary of the entire chapter in this few, like this is Transcendental Knowledge, 4th chapter. In around 6.5 lines, they have given summary of the entire chapter. So we can do paragraph wise titling. Backside, you can see there is another way of titling. Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead, and then within that, some sub points and which is the page number they have written. So this is also very powerful. Any other? Yes. Theme you can summarize. Any other? Yes, but not while sleeping. Before sleeping is okay, reading proper. Not while sleeping. Or sleeping while reading. Reading while sleeping or sleeping while reading. That should be avoided. Before sleeping, reading is okay. Sometimes we may say sleeping before reading. So that we can read properly. But that's okay. Early morning reading can be done. Grasping is very powerful. In Pune temple earlier, old temple, we had started that because they would be very busy. Our youth preaching was booming like anything, very tight schedules. So then Rai Shambhu said, let us get up at 3 and get ready by 3:30. 3:30 we all will go to library and all 30, 40 brahmacharis we would read. in the library, 3:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. 4:30 conch would blow in temple hall. We would run, close our books, and then run to temple hall and attend Mangalarati. So 1 hour reading is over before 4:30 a.m. by 4:30 a.m. It was so nice. And then during chanting it helps. Fresh in the morning we have read. Very powerful. Brahma Muhurta reading. Any other suggestion? In answering. Any question do you have? To reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada, hard endeavor, sacrifice, that should be our mood while reading. He gave up night-time sleep for writing these books. At least let me give up daytime sleep to read these books. What is easier, to read or to write books? How many of you can write this book, Bhagavad Gita? Even if you take it and as it is write also, it will take maybe 1-2 years. What to speak of by our own self, writing a book, that is not easy anyway. Reading is very easy. Let me reciprocate. We all can, there are disciples of Srila Prabhupada who read entire Bhagavad Gita in 3 months or 4 months. So in a year, they read Bhagavad Gita alone for 3 to 4 times. Like he told us, by that time he had read Krishna book 80 times, 80. This is 15 years old story. You understand? Now in 15 years he must have crossed 100, I believe. Similarly, His Holiness, what is the name? Prahladanand Swami Maharaj has read Srimad Bhagavatam 6 times. And Gita, I don't remember, 120 times or something. Amazing. Yes. So your question was, what should be the mood? To reciprocate. What acharyas have sacrificed, we cannot sacrifice that much. So our reading is nothing. Just like I asked, how many of you can write Bhagavad Gita? Just to copy only will take so much time. But reading is very easy. Yes, any other question? After you distribute the book, you take the number and email of that person and then form a group, a reading group, and you can tell them, we'll read a book. So it can be same book also. So then they will get interested. By reading, seeing how valuable is the information, they will develop interest. Any other question?
When we read Prabhupada, it always remains in intellectual platform. When we go to preaching also, we'll preach them, but when we reflect, I am not following.
Yeah. So how to get Prabhupada's books from intellectual platform to realized knowledge level? By serving. First and foremost, by acting according to it, and in general serving all the Vaishnavas. Reading or knowledge plus service is equal to realization. So service should be done. Service is rendered, and by such service one develops affinity for hearing the messages of the Supreme Lord, which are virtuous in themselves when properly heard. Punya Tirtha Nishevana. So serve, then the realization will come. Next question.
Because if you start on, you can keep on reading that particular book. So you'll be like, one day you will be like not so very much inclined, the very first day. Second day you will be like inclined, but better than the first day. And going on, Prabhupada will like he'll do magic with his words. Like we will realize more and more and more. And at one point of time, due to our like grumpy mood, like bad mood or something, we'll skip reading. And the very next day, we get this thought like, I have read very much, I got realized very much. Let me take a break for 2-3 days and again continue this book. In that 2-3 days, Maya will drive us straight away to not at all reading the book, not at all touching that book only. So how this should be avoided?
You can have accountability to some devotee whom you report daily basis through text message, WhatsApp, something like that. Your counselor, mentor, and then he will not receive, and then he will call you, bro, what happened today? Nothing. No, bro, I did not read. I thought 2-3 days I'll not read. Hey, no. Please read. It gives me pleasure to see that you read 5 pages or 10 pages or 1 hour. It's very nice. Continue. If you are accountable to somebody, then you will work better. Like you have seen in the companies how they are accountable to their bosses. But in government, whom are they accountable? Mostly no one. Then what happens? Very sluggish work. What could be done in 2-3 hours? In 2-3 months also sometimes it doesn't happen. You go to government office and ask where is that person officer? Oh, tea break. It's not tea break, but he took the break. And he will break your heart. In government office, they are not accountable to anyone. So work is very sluggish. So, but in private companies, you know how it is. My God, deadlines, targets, otherwise things like laid off, out. Isn't it? So become accountable to someone. Any other?
After reading Prabhupada, essence of health.
Book.
Yeah, whatever Prabhupada wants to use. So that is missing, that's what is
Missing. Not applied.
Behavior, the attitude, the mood and vision which Prabhupada that is not carried. So what is the point?
Service to devotees has to be there. Then the realization will come. Lord will be pleased. The humble, menial servant's attitude. Then the realization will become, and then the knowledge will become realized knowledge. Just like when we eat food, very nice food you are eating, milk, ghee, curd, butter, dry fruits, but then you are not doing any work only. You eat nicely and you take rest. You eat nicely, you take it. What will happen? It will only develop into what you call that? Flesh or what you call fat. It will not be a powerful body. What you have to do? Along with that, you have to do exercise. Then the muscles develop and it helps you become strong. Just eating is not the point. So just the reading will not do. You have to do some exercise. That means some seva to Vaishnavas. Then it will be powerful devotee, a realized soul. Next question.
Is it okay if we make different separate copies for short notes of the proper scan?
Yes, that is also okay. I have some 2-3 varieties of notebooks for reading books that I am reading. Separate notebook only. My regular notes, I have small pocket. Daily in Bhagavatam class I go and I make notes there, short notes. Okay. Then for Bhagavatam class that I have to prepare and all, some classes that I have another notebook. That's a different categorization is there. Any other?
I'm making note of some points after reading the proper. Is there any better way to remember?
Memorize there only. One is to write down in the notebook, other is to write down here only. Memorize it. Repeat it 10 times, 100 times. It can be memorized, and that is much better. This hard disk may not crash, but that hard disk may crash. Next. And you can tell others the statement. You know, today what I read. You have already memorized. Tell. While telling, sometimes you may stumble. Again, go back and check which words were missed out. Any other?
We make some good notes. Many times they have heard, many classes also reading. But what happens after a certain point is that you will not open the note.
Yeah, that's what Aishambu said. The notebooks will go back to God. The devotee will remain here. Because notebooks are very Krishna conscious. So much Krishna conscious stuff is written there. They will go back to God. And devotee who made notes will remain here. So what you can do is share that. Just read it. That's why better option is to memorize the sentences than to write down in the notebook. I have all last 30 years, all notes are there intact. One whole locker is there. One whole compartment is almost the notebooks only. Those notebooks will, I think, surely go back to God. All from day one, January 1996. I can show you all the notes till date. Even some papers I made notes on. The papers, small papers are also intact. Only thing we have to read also. Sometimes I was reading notebook, I was highlighting also points, but then again remained halfway through. But no problem. Any other?
When Rakesh from the US is having multiple studies. At that time, he's not able to do the reading whatever support.
We can. So what?
Because it will be so much of. So all the time.
The way to read proper books is to control tongue. Don't eat too much and don't speak too much. Put electric tape or cello tape on the lips and write down on the top. Not fit for speaking. Unfit for speaking.
Yes, at that point of time, the devotee sometimes just get disappointed that the time is not given or the particular reading. Or, so whether how to take it, because they will sometimes go in a fanatic area by not understanding the importance of the situation of the service. So how we can.
One has to be well organized in one's life. If you are failing to plan, then you are planning to fail. So make a nice plan. Then also, let's say Janmashtami day, you get up at 2 o'clock and 2:30 to 4:30, 2 hours you read properly. And then the day will go busy anyway. But 2 hours is read in the morning only. Or 3:30 to 4:30, 1 hour is read. Where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a strong will, there is a strong way. Where there is a weak will, there is a weak way. Where there is a no will, no way.
Personally, it will work out. Collective, that's not.
Collective what in the group?
Next schedule 1 hour reading. But individually, they can find the time. But collectively, it's not definitely.
Collectively, they may not be able to come together. That is not required. Alone one can read. You read 12 to 1, I'll read 1 to 2, he will read 2 to 6. That's fine. Swadhyaya means personal study. Any other?
Online.
Yeah.
Some days my reading time gets disturbed due to services and I complete it the next day. Is this
this an offense?
No, it's not offense. At least you are compensating. Many others won't do that also. But if you are well organized, that one day postponing will also not happen. That's what is required, little organized effort. The opposite ISKCON will grow by organization and intelligence. Just be a little smart worker. Don't be just a worker. Be a smart worker. Any other? Yes. Tips to learn shlokas. First and foremost is it comes by God's grace from previous lives, Bhakti-Onmukh Sukriti, or to some extent Karmi-Onmukh Sukriti. But apart from that, verse come verse. What you have to do, read that verse one, then see word to word meaning, then see the translation and how Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Now, if one offers me with love and devotion, so the second line has come first in the translation. And then, if one offers with love and devotion, a leaf, a fruit, water, and a flower, that is first line has come second in the translation. Tadaham bhakti uparatam ashnami prayatatmana. I will accept it. So that third, fourth. So that keep it little bit in mind. Now you do what they call memorizing. First line 10 times. Second line 10 times you have to recite. Then first and second combinedly 10 times. Third line 10 times. Fourth line 10 times. Third and fourth combinedly 10 times. Then all four lines 10 times. Mugging out. This is the last option. If our brain is not very good, then this also will do. And then write it on some paper. Keep it with you for next 7 days. Keep in between opening and check whether you have memorized or you remember or not. Then after a week, the shloka will be yours. Also share it with others. Tell 10 people. Every day 1-2 people at least. Then it will quite reinforced. That is. But otherwise, like Krishna's grace, sometimes it can be very fast. Especially when you are inspired by hearing in a class a particular shloka. That day itself, you or after the class, immediately take the shloka and memorize. I have done some shlokas like that. Morarcha Murti Mata Tumi Se Dharani Jivharupa Tumi Mata Namera Janani. When I read this verse in our meeting, counselor meeting, first time, I was very inspired by this shloka. So I memorized it after the meeting. Then like that, it doesn't hit when it's hot. When the iron is hot because of being put in fire, that time you have to hit it. Otherwise, you put in the fire, you take it out after 10 hours when it is chill cold, and you are taking hammer, and no matter how much ever you hammer, your hand will be shaped. But iron will not be shaped. Because it's now cold. It has to be hit when it's hot. Make hay when sun shines. When it's hot sun, put the wet grass, it will get dried up, and then it can be used for fuel or whatever. So likewise, when the enthusiasm is there, that time we should get into action, memorizing, etc. Yes. Everything is over. Now is our discussion. Satisfied? Done? Brilliant. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Books Ki. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Reading Ki. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Hitai Gaur Premanande. अच्छा कौन सा कृष्ण प्रभु हाँ ओके I had asked in SVP na today morning.
Yeah.
That time he did not bring it. See. Okay, this is Mahaprasad of Shishi Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Shishi Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki. So please come forward. Very less as such. Senior most first. Huh? Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. Tomorrow not allowed.